Initiating devices, they play a very, very crucial role for any fire alarm system. Let's take 2 minutes to start learning a little bit more, some general requirements when it comes to them. So, what do? They initiate signal in a system, and you got different options. There's manual initiating devices, and then there's automatic initiating devices. The type of signal being used is going to determine the response of that particular device. Let's get into it. So, general requirements. Your initiating devices, if they are subject to damage, they require protection. Again, these are going to be very, very important devices that set off the fire alarm. So if they're going to be anywhere where they might get damaged, they need guards. Devices must be supported independent of the wiring, meaning that the wire that is being connected to the device is not what is holding that device in play. It has to have its own support. Devices have to be accessible for inspection, testing, and maintenance. After installation, you have to be able to get to it. That's a big, big thing that we do see sometimes out in the field. It can be a problem. Concealed detectors that are greater than 10 feet above the finished floor have additional requirements for being able to get to them, being able to see them. So, on the topic of guards, starting first and foremost, if the device is going to be subject to any kind of damage, it requires a guard. That guard is required to be listed for initiating device, and it can have an effect on the operation of the device. Depends on what's being used and what device it is. But we are going to need to have guards for any of our devices where they might get damaged. Starting with pull stations. Pull station covers. For the most part, pull station covers are going to have to be listed as initiating device covers, but they don't have to be listed for use with the particular pull station. That being said, you might see guards that have covers. You might see guards that are going to be single action versus dual action, depending on what the pull station is itself. AHJ approval may be required for the guard, for the cover. Detectors that are in concealed locations that are greater than 10 feet above the floor, most of the time are going to require an indicator unless that specific device is indicated at the control unit when it's activated. At that point, you don't need to have the indicators. I always think it's a good idea. So looking at that, duct detectors, we see this a lot of times. Duct detectors are in concealed locations, and a lot of times they'll have a remote indicator. If it's an addressable duct detector, it does not require that though. And as I was stating, addressable duct detectors, you don't need it because it sends signals to the panel that tells you what device it is that's been activated.